Hey y'all, and welcome back to the studio. And today I have myself a challenge. I am taking one coloring page from this and doing it in 3 different ways. For this challenge, I am doing colored pencil, one of my favorite mediums, watercolor, and marker. I'm going to be giving my Ohuhu markers a try on this one. So let's just jump straight into this project. For this challenge, I am taking this coloring page reference from my Vintage Fairies coloring book, and I am turning it into 3 different styles. So the first one I am doing is marker. So for the marker one, I kind of learned my lesson from the last time I tried Ohuhu markers. If you haven't seen that video, go click it in the description box down below and I will link it somewhere in this video. So for this one, I wanted to give Ohuhu a try because frankly, I'm not the best with markers, so I decided let's do a challenge with them. So the first thing that I did was print off 2 copies of this coloring page. One of them was going to be my scratch paper so that I could actually go in and practice before I actually moved on to the coloring page, and I'm very glad I did because some colors didn't work while other colors worked a lot better and actually matched more to my reference. And I gotta say, the marker one was a lot of fun to create because I had the extra page to actually work on, to get my colors correct and practice on that. I think the marker page actually turned out much nicer than I initially was going to give it credit for. And I really love how it looked. Now, the second thing that I did with this challenge was watercolor. I haven't really done too much watercolor painting on this channel. I've done it in my spare time, doing it for projects off the channel. But for this challenge, I decided to give it a go. And for this one, I decided to use my metallic watercolor because it's a fairy. Fairies are sparkly, they're shiny, and I wanted to give those butterfly wings a gorgeous color. And I figured watercolor was the best way to do this. So my printer did not want to work with it. It was just too thick of a paper, so I had to use transfer paper for this and draw it out onto the watercolor paper before I even started this project. So jumping into the watercolor, it turned out really nice in the beginning. I was getting those beautiful blends. I was getting that nice metallic color down, and they were turning out so pretty. But then I made a fatal mistake. The mistake I made with this is I wanted to make it look like the actual coloring page. So I went back with a fine point Sharpie, and let's just say I turned out horrible. It looked so bad. I just completely gave up outlining it. I hated how it looked. It completely ruined the whole thing, and I was so disappointed with it. However, I had invested too much time into this project already that I did not want to completely start over. So the end result of the watercolor did not turn out how I liked, and it did not look very good in the end. Now let's talk about the coloring pencil, because this one was by far my favorite. So of course I saved the best for last. The coloring pencil one was my favorite because I got to use a wide variety of my colored pencils. I have a very big set of colored pencils that I used, and I got to just go at it with those pencils, and I love how it turned out. I was able to match her skin tone well, making sure that I got all of the colors correct for her wings, and it also helped with making the fabric of her dress look more translucent. In the reference picture, her dress is actually a little transparent, so you can see her skin tone underneath the layers of the fabric of her dress. So I wanted to make sure that it looked translucent. And with the marker, I think I struggled with that a little bit, but with the coloring pencil, I actually did a lot better with this because I was actually able to layer it lighter and add in those colors that make the fabric a little bit more translucent. So all in all, I think I have to say for this challenge, colored pencil kind of won, but oh hoo hoo, you're winning me over. I'm gonna give you credit for this one. You won me over on this one, so good job. You win this round. So what are my final thoughts for this challenge? Well, it certainly was a challenge, but oh hoo hoo did a phenomenal job with this project. It is on cardstock, so yes, it did bleed through the paper, but look how nice it turned out. And I actually think I did pretty okay with doing the fabric of her dress. I actually think it looks translucent, but maybe not as good as my colored pencil one. I think my colored pencil one, it translated a little bit better. And I love how the wings turned out on my colored pencil one. I love how the colored pencil one looks. It looks a lot closer to the reference picture because I had more colors to work with my pencils versus with my markers, but these two are my favorite in this project. Watercolor. Let's just have one final moment for watercolor. Ugh. It was looking really good too, and then I just had to go and do the Sharpie. So my final thoughts for this challenge, it was a lot of fun. I loved working with 3 different mediums to see 3 different outcomes. So I had a blast with this one, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. The reason why you get only like a couple camera angles is because I misplaced my tiny tripod. My husband actually borrowed it and he didn't tell me where it was so I had to go snooping for it. So I had to go find this. So that's why my colored pencil page has a few more angles and more up close detail on this one. So apologies for that. You can thank my husband for stealing my miniature tripod for that one. So that's going to do it for me today here in the studio. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, y'all.